As human beings, we've created a lot of really interesting things, beautiful things, in the form of art. And yet, when you look around at reality, there's a lot of really fucked up shit too. And it's interesting because a lot of the people who create a lot of the beautiful stuff had really fucked up lives. And so we tend to have this idea that, well, but you need that suffering, you need that negativity and all that, and it produces great works of art. And, without that suffering, people, they wouldn't have expressed their humanity. But when I listen to this, it sounds beautiful, I guess you could say, but to me it actually sounds like sad. It almost sounds like he's lamenting the fact that we're about to have a big fucking world war and millions of people are going to die in what do they call those things? Trenches with chemical warfare. And then we're going to turn that chemical warfare into pesticides and fertilizers or whatever the hell. And then we're going to burn villages in Vietnam. And we're going to invade Iraq. And we're going to drop bombs. And then we're going to crash the economy. And we just got to keep this thing going. That's modernity. That's post-modernity. That's like reality for us now. And now we're about to invent artificial intelligence, which is going to take us into a phase that I don't think really anyone understands what is going to happen. No one does. And we're all just kind of being entertained, watching cool movies, music, while our world goes to this point of total instability, total fear, total uncertainty, and everyone is being pressurized within themselves and their mind towards this point of really facing the question of like, who am I actually? What is the point of all of this? And if you would consider that you as an individual, you may not be some great artist like Eric Satie or Bach or something like that and get all the recognition and praise, but your life actually is a piece of art. You have a body and you can speak and you can make noises. And when you're speaking, you're actually singing. If you think about it, you're singing. And you have this instrument that you've been given. And you may not be satisfied with it. There might be some problems with it. But you're creating reality amongst everybody else. You have your individual reality and then you have the greater reality, which you're a part of. And you're playing one of the parts in this song. And when I look at all of the awesome pieces of art and all the stuff people have done, I mean, there's just so much. It literally blows my mind when I think about how much just music there is, how much art there is, how many sculptures, how many buildings, just like so much. Like there's a lot of people on this earth. And why can't we as humanity make something really, really good for everybody? Like, why can't our art that we leave in this world be that we created a world that was best, that was everybody enjoyed their existence? Why does there need to be unnecessary suffering? I'm not talking about the suffering you experience when you're trying to do something and you're failing and that kind of struggle within that. I'm talking about the kind of suffering of, your parents are addicted to drugs and beat you. That's not necessary. The stress that they're under, the alcoholic father, like what was his upbringing like, and were his parents basically just trying to do what they could to survive and didn't question anything around them because you don't even have time to do that. And there are people like me, perhaps like you, who are in a position to do something in this world to change that. And yet you might feel like, what could I possibly do? Right? What could I do? Well, the first thing you have to do is to understand that you have been programmed. You have been programmed with a consciousness, and it has been specifically designed so you're not understanding what is real. Whatever your theories are, whatever your ideas are, whatever knowledge you've gathered, it really doesn't matter because you haven't done anything with it. All you've done is just talk about all the stuff you know. And it sounds really fun to talk about. But what have you done with it? Has it changed anything in reality? And we have a group, it's called Self Perfected. And it's a group of individuals that are starting to take the point seriously. And people are at different points within that. When I say starting, like starting to realize, some people have really started to realize or really come to realize we have a fucking problem here in our world. Our economy is on the verge of just total collapse. If you do the math, if you really look into things, you'll understand this. And you could become cynical about it. You could become a nihilist and say, well, nothing matters. Or you can realize you have an opportunity in this life to actually create something that really matters, that really makes a difference. And that might sound very abstract for some people because there's a lot of context you have to understand, no, you actually can do something in this life. It actually really is possible, something that you can be really satisfied with. Or do you want to get to the end of your life, not having done anything that mattered, just followed a program that you were given by a system that does not care about you? You just followed that program, you died. You no longer have this. You no longer have any of your personality that you identify with now. All of that came from this system that you're in now. You're going to eventually not have that. And then you're going to see the total context of reality and realize, oh, fuck, I didn't do anything to change it. So if that is speaking to you as you're listening to this, then I really encourage you to check out Self Perfected, because it's a group of people who are taking this point very seriously, and we're having a lot of fun too. Like, I have fun on my stream. I have fun when we hang out with all our friends in our group. I mean, we have a good time. But at the same time, we're taking the questions, the existential questions, like who am I? What is reality? What matters? What's important? What's valuable? What is life? What is the purpose of life? We're taking those things seriously and then learning to have fun within it, but not using fun as an excuse to ignore the actual real problems that are here. You could think of this life as a test to see if you're told that you could change things. Will you step up? Will you do it? Or will you go into an excuse? Will you go into fear? Will you go into hiding? Will you go into isolation, self-justification? You name it. And then just watch everything unfold, and then only later realize that you missed the opportunity that you had, because that would be tragic. Right? The story doesn't have to be tragic. You decide. You're creating the story of your life. So do you want to work with other people and actually do something that at the end of it all, you would actually be proud that you were given the gift of life and you used it and expressed it to its fullest? Because all of the art that we're looking at, we talk about art a lot on my stream, it's interesting, but I'm always looking at it in the context of what is it expressing actually, right? And how much of what we call self-expression is just, look at this thing I made. Isn't that cool? Awesome. Does it make you feel a certain way? Awesome, cool. But it doesn't change anything. It might even talk about changing things, but in itself, it's just for something to experience that, but not to actually change something. So the greatest work of art is literally the reality we're in right now. And when you look around at it, are you satisfied with your creation? Because if you're not, and you want to do something that's constructive within reality, that's what Self-Perfected's about. So probably the easiest way to find the group and to meet people and learn more about it is the Instagram page at Self-Perfected, SELFPERFECTED, Self-Perfected.